Hello to everyone, my name is Greg Horat and welcome to our new video sponsored by Orbex, in which I will talk about Euro, Cable, Dollar, Swiss, Dollar, Yen and the SP 500. Now firstly, let's focus on the stock market. As you know, stocks have seen recently moves to the downside. They even accelerated in the last few sessions after recent actions by Russia. So we will see how this will develop. Of course, stocks are currently coming to the downside at the same time because of potential threat to a war. We are seeing higher crude oil prices, which could also lead to other higher commodities or energies in general. So looking at the S&P 500 here, well, I still think that this wave forward that we are tracking since start of the year is still underway. Ideally, we will see this swing lows from end of January retested, and then you have very nice support firstly at 38.2% and then at this minor swing low here around 4,000, which is also very strong psychological level. So for now, I think that there is still either we are going to see more sideways price action because after all we are in a wave forward, so that's possible, or maybe we are going to see more sharp sell-off into wave forward to complete at lower prices. In either case, I still think that it's too early to say that this is any multi-year high. I always try to label the wave count so that I stay with the trend. Okay, so if I see market pulling back in three waves, I will always try to label this as a counter trend structure, meaning just a correction within higher degree trend. Now let's take a look on the 4-hour time frame to give you the perspective where we are within this wave forward. Well, what's probably the most important to me at this stage is that this first drop here, okay, has seen an overlap with this wave X. In this overlap actually may indicate that we are really in a wave 4, because for a top in place you have to see very clear 5 waves down, but for now I think that this can really be counted as a complex correction. So this could be the first zigzag from that high, then you have wave X because market rally only in 3 waves, and now again we are selling off, and ideally we are moving into the second part of this complex correction. So that was the first part, and then you have this wave X that connects the whole correction with the second part. Okay, so ideally we will see a move, as I said, below that level, and then potential bottom around 4,000, where you have also this lower parallel trend line of this channel. So for now we stick with the bearish view, and I think we could see more weakness after any free wave rally. Ideally this will be wave B, which could then find a resistance again at this upper trend line after this wedge formation, which could be a leading diagonal for wave A. So for now we still see room for more potential weakness, which means that yen crosses maybe could see a little bit lower prices before they may stabilize. Now let's take a look also on the euro dollar. Okay, so euro dollar actually didn't go far recently, so I will stick with this triangle still for this year. I think that we could rally from the lower side of the range higher into wave E. In fact, recently we have seen a break above this, not really decisive break, but looks like it's pending here, break above this trend line. So ideally this will cause more upside into this potential wave E. Also, if you look closely here on the 4-hour time frames, well, notice that this wave B can still be underway. Very nice support is around 61.8% to 78.6%. Okay, so this could be a very nice region for potential bounce, especially if we consider that stocks recently sold off, but euro dollar didn't follow much. So if when stock will try to complete that fourth wave, well, that's when euro dollar could also have a very nice bounce. Now let's take a look also on cable. Now cable is moving sideways here on a smaller time frames. Now on a higher degree time frame, I still think that this move down from 2021 highs to 2021 December lows was a corrective move, because I can count only 3 waves down. notice that this three wave structure was contained by this trend line, and then you have seen a retest even break out of this trend line. So in my opinion, this could be an early indication that we are again forming a bottom here, or trying to build a base for bullish case here. But again, bullish trend may resume only after three wave setback, and if you look closely here, that's still not the case. I think that this is the first leg, and you are now potentially in a wave B rally that can still retest the 78.6%. Then you see a next sell-off and then a rally. Okay, so that would be the ideal scenario. So as I see things on cable, longer term trend or mid-term trend still up, but in the short term I think that there can be more choppy price action, not really clear, because we are in the middle of these corrective subdivisions. Now let's take a look on dollar against Swiss franc. Now Swiss franc will usually play a very interesting bullish run, especially during uncertainty. So when you have potential threat to war, then obviously markets, investors will look for safe havens, and Swiss franc can be one really interesting choice, which has a very strong correlation with gold. So that's why we are seeing gold also moving very nicely to the upside in this time of fear. So what's going on dollar Swiss? Well, nothing much really when you look here on this daily chart, where I am observing a potential triangle. But this triangle suggests that we could see actually a breakdown after this red or lower trend line will be broken. For now, that's not the case yet. Also, triangles are made by 5 waves, A, B, C, D, and E. And for now, what I see is only wave D, so wave E here is still missing. Now looking at the 4-hour chart, well, wave D could already be trying to bottom here at this lower side of the range. Notice that sub-wave C has already passed wave A extreme, meaning that supports are very near, and if we can see more upside today and maybe finish the day above 9200, then I think that wave E will be in the cards for a new free wave rally before market may once again slow down at the upper side of the range. So for now, this is still a range price action, nothing really interesting. But if we are going to see this final wave rally, then I think that could be much more interesting next month. Okay, so definitely keep a close eye on dollar Swiss, but at the same time also keep an eye on Swiss bank, because they're obviously watching the Swiss rates very closely, especially Euro Swiss. Now let's take a look also the final market, which will be dollar yen. Now dollar yen I think is still in a higher degree uptrend. Now it just has a pause here, looking for this to be a wave 4, maybe a running triangle, because notice that here wave 4 or sub-wave within wave 4 has moved to a new extreme, but then we fell back into this range. So this sideways price action actually suggests that it's a pause rather than a top in place. So I will try to continue to look for another push higher to complete this 5-wave sequence from 2021 lows. So it's an ABCDE pattern. What's very interesting and why I bring this pair on is because notice that in this wave E, which is final leg of a triangle, I can already count 3 subwaves. Okay, now price is recovering very nicely away from this projected 61.8% fib level. You also have this trend line not far away. So I think this is a very attractive, interesting zone for a bullish reversal. Now, if today we can see price recovering and make a daily close slightly above this trend line, then I think that more upside could actually be seen in the next few days, potentially even back towards this double top formation. If suddenly we see a break above 113.40 support, and before that even below the trend line, then obviously this should be an early indication that this wave 4 will either become more complex or maybe even market is turning aggressively to the downside. Traders, thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you enjoyed this video and talk to you soon. Bye.